Hi there, my name is Kaale. I'm a public notary here in the state of Florida, and today in this video I'm just going to be talking about the steps that I took to become a Florida notary public. So, thank you for stopping by. Let's get into it. So, first of all, what is a notary? A notary public is an official appointed by your state government, and basically, this person serves as an impartial witness to the signing of important documents. And basically, our job is to kind of make sure there's no fraud in the signing of documents. You know, we're making sure that the presenters and the signers are who they say they are. And we also have to make sure that they're comfortable signing the documents and make sure they're not under any stress or duress or being coerced into signing something that they're not comfortable with. So those are primarily the main duties. We check for state ID and to just, again, make sure that they're comfortable signing what they're signing. So becoming a notary is actually a very easy process. The cost for it is pretty low. However, again, I'm just here to talk about the Florida process. I don't know what the other processes are like in other states. I know in the state of North Carolina, for example, you have to take like a 7-hour course. Here in Florida, the course that is required to be a commissioned notary is 3 hours and it's online. It's that easy. So to get into the steps, I got my iPad, take notes. So how I got started, I basically went through the Florida Notary Association. The reason why I went through them was because it was cheaper for me at the time instead of going through the NNA, which is the National Notary Association. But I also recommend them as well. I have a membership with them. So if you prefer to go through them, that's great. I'm just sharing the steps that I specifically took to get my commission. So I went through the Florida Notary Association. I thought their fees were pretty affordable. So how I got started, basically, I filled out the application first, and I had it printed. You do have to print these documents, sign them, and then send them to, I guess, whatever notary business that you're going through. So in my case, I sent my documents over to the Florida Notary Association in Orlando. So after I printed my documents, I put down all my legal information. Within the application, there is a section called a character affidavit. And what that basically entails is you just need to find someone who is non-blood related to you to basically sign off on your good character. So in my case, I actually just moved to Florida. I didn't know a lot of people, and there wasn't anybody down here who knew me for more than a year. So when I was actually filling out my application, I was in Virginia, which is my home state. So I was able to get my best friend to sign off for me. And another thing I learned as you're signing, make sure when you put down the county, you're putting down the county that you're signing in. So for example, I was in the county of Warwick in Newport News, Virginia. So that was the county that I needed to put down, not the county of Duval, which I'm still learning. So just wanted to let somebody else know that in case they were as confused as I was. So another one of the documents that you have to sign off on, portions of the application that you have to sign off on is called an oath of office, which is basically just you solemnly swearing that you will protect and defend the Constitution and the government of the United States, and upholding your duties properly and to the best of your ability. So there's that. So there's the character affidavit, the oath of office. I printed out my application, signed everything that I needed to sign, had my friend sign what she needed to sign. The next thing that I did, and when I was looking stuff up, it said you're actually supposed to take the course first and then fill out the application. From my experience, I don't really think it matters. I think at the end of the day, as long as you have everything in place to send to wherever you're sending these documents to, that's what matters. So I actually went and took my course. Again, this is in the state of Florida. The requirements for Florida is essentially just a 3-hour online course, and it is as simple as that. And honestly, like, there was no pressure whatsoever to take this course. You can take it whenever you feel like it. You're not timed at all. The only requirement is you have to take it within 3 hours. So that doesn't mean if you go over 3 hours and you time out and you're disqualified. What that essentially means is, from what I can remember, you had to spend a certain amount of time on the subjects. So as you go into another chapter, I believe it might say you're required to spend at least 20 to 40 minutes on this chapter, or 15 minutes, I think, on said chapter. And if you read through it, went through the quiz too quickly, it wouldn't let you proceed. So I guess that's their way of making sure you're actually taking the time to read and absorb the information, because this is a pretty serious job. But I didn't have a problem doing that whatsoever. I'm like, I need to be educated. So for any of you who's nervous about taking the course, when I say it's so easy, it's so easy. And after you're done taking the course, I would actually recommend you purchase your state's handbook. So speaking for Floridians, purchase the Florida Notary Handbook. You can get it from Amazon for about $11. And read through it. Make sure you understand your duties and the laws and XYZ. That's essentially the course, basically. So the course was very easy, no pressure. There's no tests. You do have to take quizzes, but the notes are right there for you. So the quizzes are essentially open book. And what's important for this one is after you're finished, you have to print that document as well, the certificate. Make sure you sign and date the certificate, and you're going to attach that to your application as well. So another thing you need to purchase that is required to become a Florida notary is a surety bond. The surety bond gives you a minimum of 4 years for it to be in use, and it has to be a minimum of $7,500 in coverage. And I believe there is a state mandated price for it, about $39. And what the surety bond does is it doesn't specifically cover you, the notary, but it does cover any damages that you may have caused during any notarization. Okay, so that's essentially it. Let's go ahead and review basically what you need to become a Florida notary. So step 1, fill out the application. Make sure you're filling out all the personal information about yourself, signing the oath of office, getting that character affidavit filled out, choosing your surety bond coverage as well. Once you're done with that, take the 3-hour course. Again, super easy. Print out the certificate, sign and date, and that is essentially it. Attach all of that in a cute little manila folder. In my case, I sent everything to, again, the Florida Notary Association in Orlando, and they were very timely, very quick. I believe the whole process for me to officially become commissioned was about 3 weeks total. And I'm not very good at checking my mail. So for all I know, they could have delivered it much sooner than what I was expecting. But I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just like, okay, I filled it in. And before I knew it, I had my package. So overall, I had a really good experience going through the Florida Notary Association. So I would definitely recommend it. Don't know what it's like to go through the others, but there's tons of other Florida notary websites, other NNA-like websites that you can go through to kind of make this process pretty smooth. And I'm sure the process is the same across other platforms as well. So after you send out your application, certificate, bond, oath of office, once you send that back, they'll send you back everything that you need to, not everything, but a couple of things that you need to get started, such as your actual paper certificate that says you have been appointed by the governor and you are officially a commissioned notary. And on top of that, you get your stamp. And that stamp is essentially, that's what seals you. That is, aside from the certificate. But those are the two things that you really need to get started in this field. Sure, the process is the same across other platforms as well. So that's about it. Thanks for stopping by. Again, this channel is essentially just documenting my Florida notary process and journey. And it's essentially kind of like a learning thing for me. So if I can provide some educational material to you as well as I learn myself, sounds like a mutual exclusive thing going on. So we can help each other. Well, thank you for stopping by. Yeah, and stay tuned for more notary content.